We're sitting here at the base of Mount Denison after a very long hike. Me at least, I was tired. We went from about, I don't know, I think it was about 2,200 feet to where I think we're probably about 4,500 feet.
How you doing, Richard?
Finally brought us to the base of Mount Denison, and to get there, the final push was across the glacier that I had been thinking about probably almost on a daily basis for the past year. Waking up in the morning thinking, can I do this? Do I want to cross this glacier with very little glacier experience? And you know, it turned out to be not worth all those mornings of anxiety.
So the technical difficulty of Mount Denison is not spectacular. I mean, as long as you put one foot in front of the other and the weather's not too bad, you're going to get up to the top of that mountain. But climbing Mount Denison is not about winning awards or setting new standards or getting big corporate sponsorships. What this is all about is bringing people together and sharing a common sense of adventure and connection.
It's exciting to be where you haven't been, and then to think that you're the first people to be there.
We're walking where usually hundreds and thousands and maybe millions of people have walked before, and that's fine. We all are going about our affairs, but there's something magic, and something that is, I think, in me forever changed by having walked in places where nobody else has ever walked. There's a magic quality to that. That is perhaps inexplicable if one hasn't really experienced it.
I think it's a very primal thing, and I think that adventure is something that is deeply embedded in all of us, whether we're aware of it or not. If you stop to think about it, human beings have been around for a really long time. And during those thousands of years before we had cities, we roamed and we were nomadic, and we had to survive. And, you know, in recent history, we've built this civilization where we don't have a sense of adventure in our day-to-day lives any longer. If you want adventure, you have to seek it. What I'm talking about is going so deeply into the wilderness that the ground that you're walking upon may be the first time it's ever experienced human travel, or the animals that you're looking at or looking at you is the first time they've ever experienced a human, and that if something seriously goes wrong, you don't have a lot of hope for a quick and easy evacuation. You're out there.
Looking down the glacier where we had climbed up for several days, and we were literally so spellbound, so awestruck by this extraordinary experience, the beauty of the scene we were at, and having come through the experiences we'd come through to get there. We're just soaking this thing up. We, in fact, didn't even have the presence of mind to reach for our cameras. That's how awestruck we were by this whole thing. And JP elbowed me and he said, just think, no one has ever been here before. And it is that thought, that whole concept, which is why we were all there. We had, even if we had then turned around at that point in time, sure, we would have been disappointed not to have achieved the summit, but we had transcended the limits of what other people had done.
My point is that when you're that remote, when you're that far away from civilization, there is a unique and primal instinct that comes out in all of us. And I think that this is the reason why we do these things. This is the reason why we put ourselves in these difficult situations and go out into the wilderness. And we learn about ourselves, and we connect with the natural world, and we connect with the climbers and the people who we're traveling with, and we also connect with the people who came before us.
Here we have meals with wheels, a pasta and veggies and cheddar cheese sauce. Lovely. We'll taste, Richard.
It's still too hot to eat. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm sure it's good. I smell the cheddar cheese on it already.
3,500 feet to gain. It's pretty exciting. I've been planning this trip for 2 years, and tomorrow we will, fingers crossed, hit the summit. No one's been there in 30 years. So